keeping you informed everywhere. KSBY News starts right now with breaking news.
A Labor Day weekend diving trip turns deadly when a boat is suddenly engulfed in flames. The Coast Guard frantically searching for survivors off the coast of Santa Barbara after receiving a disturbing distress call. At this hour, we can confirm that of the roughly 39 souls on board the vessel, only 5 crew members made it to safety.
The crew was actually already awake and on the bridge, and they jumped off.
Those who previously spent time on the boat questioning how something like this could have happened.
I've slept on board, and so I can only imagine what it would have been like at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning last night when they had a fire.
Meanwhile, loved ones anxiously await updates of those on board.
It's very surreal at the moment.
Devastating, tragic, and we still are hoping that there could still be some survivors.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us for the news at 6. I'm Richard Gearhart. We begin with breaking news this evening. This is what we know right now about this morning's boat fire. Santa Barbara County Sheriff's Office says 8 people have been confirmed dead after they were located in the water around where the Conception dive boat caught fire and sank early this morning. The Sheriff's Office says a total of 39 people were on board the Conception, 6 crew members and 33 passengers. 5 crew members reportedly made it off the boat alive. 4 bodies have been recovered, 2 males and 2 females. 4 other people have been spotted at the bottom of the ocean. None of the identities have been confirmed. The boat took off at around 4 a.m. Saturday from Santa Barbara Harbor and was expected to return this evening at about 5 p.m., but it never made its destination. Caught fire and sank off the coast of Santa Cruz Island. The initial reports came in at about 3:30 this morning. The Sheriff's Office says search and rescue efforts will continue through the remainder of the day. Right now there is a 3,000-foot temporary flight restriction around the Conception to help with recovery efforts. We have been following this story since it broke early this morning, bringing you live updates throughout the day. We are continuing our live coverage right now. We're going to send it over to KSBY anchor Karina Corral, who was at the press conference that just wrapped up about an hour ago. Karina?
Yeah, Richard, we learned at that press conference that this was a Labor Day diving excursion that has now turned into a time of turmoil for so many families whose loved ones are now presumed dead or missing or confirmed dead. Now, this all started around 3 o'clock this morning. 5 crew members were on the roof of the boat. They were awake when they told investigators that the vessel was engulfed in flames and they jumped in the water. A nearby boat was able to rescue them, and that's when they put out that Mayday call for help. Now, Coast Guard, Santa Barbara County, and Ventura County Fire Departments responded to put out those flames, and then they say around 7 a.m. the boat started to sink. The 26 passengers that remained missing were asleep below deck where the sleeping quarters are located. The 4 bodies that have been recovered show initial cause of death as drowning. Investigators are not giving up hope, though, of finding survivors. They are checking the shoreline as well as the water west of the scene, which is the direction of the currents. But they do have to be realistic as well.
This isn't a day that we wanted to wake up to for Labor Day, and it's a very tragic event. And we will search all the way through the night into the morning, but I think we all should be prepared to move into the worst outcome. But those are our efforts right now, and they will continue through the night and into the morning.
Now, Sheriff Brown said this is the worst case scenario in times of investigating what went wrong. The boat is now at the bottom of the ocean in 64 feet of water, now which is rather shallow, but it's also inverted, which is making it difficult to investigate because it's not stable. It's also making it difficult to get to the bodies and finding any bodies that may be in the boat as well. They've had to call in highly trained personnel because of this reason, and to help with the investigation, they've enacted a 1-mile safety zone in the water to keep boats away and divers safe. And they've also enacted a 3,000-foot ceiling for aircraft. Now, the search will continue into the night and into the morning. They will decide then whether this turns into a recovery effort. Now, obviously for loved ones, this is a tragic waiting game. Many are showing up to the Coast Guard station in Santa Barbara with questions, wondering what went wrong. Local, state, and federal investigators are all now working together to try to get them some answers. Live in Santa Barbara, Karina Corral. Richard, back to you.
All right, Karina, thank you. Couple who helped rescue some crew members say they were woken by loud thumping noises on the side of their 60-foot vessel. Shirley and Bob Hansen said they checked outside. They saw the 5 crew members from the Conception. They said they were shocked that they were alive because of how massive the flames were.
The flames and the horrific imagination, or in your mind thinking of how did those people, what they were experiencing, trapped, flames all over. I mean, it was just had to have been horrific, and young people, and it's such a shame.
After seeing, they helped them on the boat and then gave them blankets and clothes. They say the crew members were crying and distraught. The couple was one of the first to witness that tragedy. Santa Barbara officials are doing everything they can to help the victims. The U.S. Coast Guard has set up a family assistance center at the Ora Warren Showgrounds in Santa Barbara. KSBY News reporter Michael Torres has been there all afternoon. Michael?
Well, that's right, Richard. The Family Assistance Center, which is located right here behind me, was set up earlier this morning to allow families, friends, and loved ones to get more information on the situation. Now, it also serves as a place for support. Families, friends, and loved ones are coming to the Family Assistance Center with questions. The center is a place where those involved can get information and get access to a variety of services as they await for updates.
Staffing that we have inside the Family Assistance Center includes mental health staff from the Department of Behavioral Wellness. We have Red Cross. We have hospice will be here a little later today. We have faith-based community, clergy, chaplains. We have Sheriff's Department. We have Fire Department. Grimacy mentions that the Family Assistance Center is seeing more people as the day goes on, and they encourage that. Some are deciding to stay and wait for more information, and others might leave and check back in, but ultimately it's a place for support. Grimacy says the Family Center will now stay open until 9 p.m. tonight and will reopen tomorrow morning at 9. It will stay open during those hours until Thursday or for as long as there is a need. Live in Santa Barbara, I'm Michael Torres, KSBY News.
All right, Michael, thank you. County does have an information line set up where anyone can call with questions about the Conception boat fire incident. That number, 833-688-5551. It's on the bottom of your screen. We've also put that number on our website. People in San Luis Obispo are also feeling the impact of this morning's tragic event. The owner of one local dive shop says he sold gear to some of the people on the boat that caught fire early Monday morning near the Santa Cruz Islands. KSBY News reporter Alex Gonzalez spoke with the owner of the business, who says he was shocked to find out about the news. The owner says the first thing that came to mind were the customers that he helped just a couple of days back needing gear for the upcoming dive experience on the Conception.
I have divers that bought dive gear from me that are out there this weekend on that boat. So this last week I sold some fins, masks, snorkel, gloves to divers out there. I'm devastated.
Bookout had sold some diving gear to a father and son who were headed out on the boat for the extended weekend. This tragedy comes as a shock to Bookout, who has dived with the company since the 1980s. He says Truth Aquatics has been nothing but exceptional with the service and experiences they provide to divers of all levels, making this that much more difficult.
We've all dove those boats. The Truth Aquatics boats, they're just amazing. You know, they give experiences of the Channel Islands to the novice, the pro, the advanced, that are phenomenal, you know, and this is devastating to our whole dive community.
Doug Grant is a Santa Barbara resident and has slept on the Conception himself. He was out on the water today, willing to help any way he could.
I've been on the Conception before. I've been on a dive trip. I've been to this island before. I've slept on board. And so I can only imagine what it would have been like at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning last night when they had a fire.
Bookout says he doesn't understand how an event like this happened in the first place, but says he feels this is a tremendous loss for everyone, especially those within the diving community.
For everyone out there that's, you know, I feel very sad. I feel sad for the family members. Let's just pray for them.
Alex Gonzalez, KSBY News.
Bill says that he would recommend this dive company to divers heading out to the Santa Cruz Islands and wouldn't think twice about it. Gavin Newsom taking to Twitter saying his heart is with those affected by the tragedy. Newsom also expressing gratitude to first responders. Representative Salud Carbajal was at a press conference earlier. He is releasing a statement and echoing other representatives, saying his heart goes out to everyone involved as we work to get updates. Senator Dianne Feinstein is calling for an interagency investigation into the boat fire incident. She released a statement saying in part, quote, "It's inconceivable that with the safety regulations we have in place today that a fire on a boat can lead to the loss of life that we saw this morning near Santa Cruz Island." Feinstein also expressed her sympathy to those involved. Now, as crew continued their search, medical officials on land helped the crew members who made it out of the fire alive. Anthony Pura has more about the incident from Ventura Harbor.
The survivors were brought here to Ventura Harbor. The actual search effort happening about 30 miles from here. Dive crews are in the water right now looking for survivors. I want to show you some video now of the survivors as they got back on land. Emergency crews seen here loading someone into an ambulance, taking them to the hospital. 5 crew members jumped overboard when the Conception caught on fire overnight. At least one of them was injured. A Good Samaritan in a nearby boat found the crew members, pulled them out of the water. The Coast Guard says the crew members were awake and in the top deck when the fire broke out, so they were able to dive into the water. The passengers, however, were all below deck. Now, the cause of the fire still under investigation. In Ventura Harbor, Anthony Pura, KSBY News.
And we have been sending you push alert notifications all day as this story unfolds. Make sure that you download the KSBY News app to stay up to date on stories going on in your community as they happen. Weather-wise today, a pretty nice day across much of the Central Coast, but still wild weather happening on the East Coast to keep track of as well.
Yeah, definitely. Dorian about to wreak its havoc as it gets closer to the East Coast. Here, however, gorgeous weather out at the beach. Here's a look out at Cayucas. I'll have details on our heat wave that is going to continue as we head into this new week coming up in my full forecast.
So I imagine there's a lot of people running around trying to get some information.
Coming up, the brother of one of the crew members on the boat explains the moment he realized something was wrong this morning.